All right, Evil Dead fans, I'm going to give you a quick review on pricing on how to make a chainsaw hand and what you need. Number one, you're going to need a Homelite XL. You can get them at a pawn shop, a full chainsaw for about 60 bucks. Now, they don't come with 20-inch blade for the most part. They usually come with a 14. What you need is the bar, chainsaw bar, 20-inch chainsaw bar. If you buy it brand new, it's about 50 bucks. Then you need the chain. It's another 20 bucks, 25 bucks. Let's just say we'll round that up to about 150. Everything right now, 150. Various nuts and bolts you need. Another 10 bucks. We're at 160. Various metals, like the cuff. If you're going to make a custom cuff, and this is all custom here, and the blade support on the inside. That's another probably 20 bucks, 30 bucks for that. So let's say we're at 180 right now. If you want to buy this piece, you can usually get it on eBay for about 20 bucks. So let's just round it up to 200. You got the PVC piece here. This is an oversized 3-inch. That's probably about $1. You count that, you count the paint, which is about $1. Black paint, red paint, another $1. In this paint, you actually have to mix to get right. So you actually need some red and orange to do that correctly. So let's round that up to about 10 bucks for paints. And let's say we're about 210. We'll go 210. You need wood dowels for that, and this for the handle on both inside and outside. So let's another 5 bucks. Say we're at 215. Then you consider in the time that somebody puts into it. Say you buy one and somebody's asking 350, 400 bucks for one. Now, depending on who you buy it from, I don't know how people do their wrist cuffs, but this one right here will take about 8 hours to do correctly, because it's cold rolled. It's not hot rolled, it's cold rolled, so you don't get the burn marks. And this is actually a thinner metal with Bondo on top. So the Bondo in a smaller can is about 20 bucks. The steel to make it is really, it's a super thin steel to form it. And the time that you have to put into it is usually about, altogether, probably about 10 hours, because you have to make your template, then you got to make your template okay, you got to cut that out, make sure it fits right, then you got to cut your metal out to that, then you actually have to, after that, put it together in a rough shape, make sure it fits, and then Bondo it up after that. So there's a lot of time. If you're going to buy one from somebody, there's a lot of time that goes into it. But if you plan on just getting a Homelite XL and doing it and building it, you're going to need an air compressor. You're going to need cutting tools, like maybe possibly a Dremel or a can't think of the word for it. But anyways, you're gonna need. Let me see. I'll show you right now the saw that you're gonna need right now. Can't think of the word for it, but you're gonna need one of these to cut that top off. Can't think of the word for it, or the name for it, but you're gonna need that. If you don't have the drill set, you need the drill bits, you need a drill, you need metal bits, which are a little more expensive. If you do it with wood, you might crack the body, or ruin it, or just bust off your bits. And that's a crappy deal. So, all in all, on parts, you're probably gonna spend about 200 to 230 bucks if you have nothing. Except the tools. If you don't have the tools, expect about 300 or a little more. And if you buy one outright, the guy who does it is probably going to put a good, let's say, probably about a good, altogether, money-wise, value-wise, a good 400 bucks into this thing. So if you see people sell them for 300 to 500 bucks, it's because it takes a long time to actually build one of these things correctly. If you want to build one like this to where you can stand it up and you can see the gears in it have 0 gaps. You're going to be spending a lot of money on it. You're going to spend a premium price of at least $400 bucks to about $500 on one of these, because there's a lot of time that's put into it. If you want something you can sit on your wall and you can say, yep, that is Ash's hand. That's what you get. Now, people for 250 bucks I've seen on Etsy, they're taking these toy or Halloween chainsaws that make noise and crap, and they're like, well, this is Ash's. All they do is they just put a handle on the inside and move the trigger and put a cuff on it that looks cheap and repaint them. They're like, oh yeah, it's Ash's hand. That's not cool, man. I mean, it does the job for what you need it. But if you're gonna make Ash's hand or get Ash's hand, spend the time or spend the money on getting a correct one. There's a lot of people I talk to who make them look really, really good. Like, the only thing that I have a problem with this one is these 2 bolts should be right here. But the mount for the chainsaw blade or the chainsaw bar had to go with this because everything's cold rolled. I did not mount it to anything but that. Actually, on the inside, it wraps around and goes to the inside of this, then comes back out, then back in. So it has way more support. And you want some weight to it. I've seen some to where you can tell the body's super light, but the blade is super heavy. And you want a definite good use of weight distribution when you make them. And it takes a long time, a lot of fitting, a lot of patience. So if you decide to make one, take your time, make sure you make it the way you want it. Because this one, I said I think in a previous video, was one I made before. I wasn't happy with the top, and I wasn't happy with a few other items with it. Wasn't happy with the length of the blade. So I spent the time and money, and the cuff, and changed it. Oh, and I have to mention one thing. A lot of people, they put this strap to here. Now, if you look at the work shed scene, it goes from here to here. That's what it is. If you slow that down, you'll see it from here to here. And also, I said there was no flat top. There was actually a flat top chainsaw in the work shed scene. And that's it. After the work shed scene, it goes to a slope and just tightens down in the front. And through the years, the hump has changed. It's got a little bigger. I think it's just for Bruce Campbell's hand to fit a little better. But yeah, there was a flat top scene. It's called the Workshop Chainsaw Hand. But I'm happy with what I got. And if I do start to sell these, I will sell them probably for about $450 bucks to about $500 bucks, and only on special request. That is it. Just because a lot of other people sell them for $300 bucks to $350, but what I have and I provide is a custom metal cuff, which in my opinion just makes it just look so much better. A lot of people, that's where they go a little less expensive on, but I really like the cuff. Like I said, if you want a chainsaw that you can look at and go, that's Ash's. You don't want something for 250 bucks that's just a little toy made for a kid. And somebody comes in, oh yeah, that's cool. But if you have something like this, somebody walks in your house or wherever you're at, they go, damn, that's Ash's hand. Where did you get that? Did you build that? Did you buy it? So if you're going to do it right. You don't want to question yourself when it's done. Because if you question yourself, you're going to keep redoing it and you might screw it up. Just stay on point, do your research, what needs to be done, and how to make it correct. So I'm happy with what I got. I'm not going to change it anymore. Everything just looks spectacular. I can sit it right on end. That's what I like about it. I can just take this sucker and just sit it right on end. Since it has a metal thick metal cuff. And it fits nice, looks great. I have zero problems with this. But that's just a little tutorial or a little video on how much you're going to spend if you have the tools. It's gonna, and well, I forgot to mention sandpaper. You're gonna need sandpaper, but you have the tools, but you need all the products. You're gonna spend about 200 to about 230 bucks, right around there, to make it right. But this has been Brett, and this is my Ash chainsaw hand, and I'm digging it. Have a groovy day.